The Baron stared quietly out the window. You know what the secret to power is? His secretary furiously wrote everything down. It's desire, he continued. You create a desire and give the people what they want. Soon as he said this, the door opened, and a few of the official news people came in. A large purple babe pulled out a clipboard, while the other set up a camera. Baron Stamantios grinned to himself. Speaking of desire, he was going to create a need for safety. Baron Stamantios, the clipboard lady said, can we get a statement on the recent radiological attack? Of course. Hold on. The Baron had learned an old trick for squeezing out a few tears back in his days as an agent of the interior. The sight of a crying male could make people do anything. He nodded when he was ready, and the camera woman counted down on her fingers. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. The attack by the Maryland terrorists was both cowardly and cruel, he sniffed. There is never a need to harm those who choose not to lay down their lives in battle. A few tears. Good, good. My heart is heavy with the cost of this attack. I have ordered emergency relief to begin dispensing bottled water while I filter the water of this great state. His expression turned hard. Those responsible will be hunted down with zero remorse. The lady turned off the camera. And we're good, Mrs. Stamantios. I'm positively floored by the love you have for the people of this region. Ah, miss. He checked her name. Ovray. I never saw the people of Maryland as subjects to be ruled over. I may have been born on Shul, but, well, what am I if not one of them? How in the world did he keep a straight face? Good Baron. Ovray foolishly wrote that down. So what is being done about the terrorists? Ovray fished out an omnipad. Excellent question. Could I get some water? An aide grabbed him a bottle of water from the emergency stash. Thank you, dear. Now, we are rounding up known terrorists as we speak. They will be interrogated and made to give up others they know of. Indeed, he had just been reading reports of a few bound for the Delaware border moments earlier. The people of this state need to know that their lives can be safe. I intend to provide them with that assurance. Power and desire indeed. The plan was complicated. Uncle Bill and I would head up to what remained of Chester separately. There are a number of abandoned railways that we would hike along into Delaware. Once in Delaware, one of the Emperor's guys, a certain Sam the Man, has set up with drivers who would bring us to the drop-off. I wasn't too worried. Aside from us, there was really only one moving part. What could go wrong? I somberly reflected on how fucking weird my life had become as I drove through the largely abandoned town. So close to the Maryland-Delaware border. Shulvanti border patrols had largely stopped people moving around here. This, in turn, drove people from the border counties inward. The town was heavily overgrown. The grass got so thick I couldn't drive after a while. I had to get out and walk. The foliage would keep me hidden. After what felt like forever, I came to a road. As a car passed, I saw a Delaware plate. I must have made it. And sure enough, there was a dark grey truck. License number 28956. That was my ride. I just hoped Uncle Bill made it to his. I threw the bag of pipes into the truck bed and climbed in after it, sliding the bed's cover back down. I lay there in the darkness for God knew how long, before I felt the truck come to a stop. Goodbye, darkness, my old friend. Uncle Bill and I watched the Emperor and his guys all pack up and get ready to scram. Not a moment too soon, either. I could feel it. Something bad was going to happen. We ready? I asked, once they were all good and gone. Yeah. Uncle Bill and I both turned back and started walking through the woods. Sure enough, something flew overhead. That was a bad sign. We both ran faster, but more somethings flew overhead. Soon we could hear the sound of Reeks handlers and their snarling alien dogs. Uncle Bill and I looked at each other. We both carried a knife and a pistol in our coats. We both knew what we were going to do. We both ran in opposite directions. As I ran, I ducked under an alien dog jumping out at me. I stood, slamming my shoulder into his gut, sending the thing flying. Looked like we weren't going to get away clean. I pulled out my knife. The handlers let their pets off their leashes. This was going to be fun. I stabbed the first in the neck and threw it to the ground. As I slashed and stabbed at the creatures, I realized they were going to keep sending more. Eventually I was going to lose. Just as I slammed one skull into a tree, repeatedly, until it shattered, another clamped his split jaw on my leg. He wrenched his head to the side, tearing out a decent chunk of calf. I dropped to my knee, slicing one along the belly. Its organ spilled out just as another barreled into my chest, dropping me to the ground. I tasted blood as my face hit the dirt. Do you know how hard it is to crawl away with 3 alien dogs clamped onto you? Yeah, I wasn't going anywhere. All I saw were booted feet as the world spun. One of the soldiers barked out an alien word, and the dogs unclamped their jaws. I started to crawl away. There was no way I was running, though, nor with my mutilated leg. A powerful, booted foot pressed me back into the dirt. The Baron wants all captured terrorists taken to the Springfield facility, another said, her helmet muffling her voice slightly, then taken for purity control. Well, that wasn't good. More boots held my arms down as somebody slid a bag over my head and dragged me into a waiting transport. While ship was going down on Earth, deals were being made on the other side of the galaxy. The Kasserine Pass was a narrow filament of tightly packed stars stretching between the far-free Kiloparsec arm and the Sagittarius arm. It was a common destination for pirates, smugglers, mercs, and bad bitches of all kinds. There was a reason it was home to so many grimy bars and oppressive city worlds. Sashan sat in such a bar, drinking her blood whiskey and smelling the spikeweed smoke in the air as her sister warrior, Darach, told her a story. So, the Shilmarine's like, hob-dobber, dobby-da, right? This must have seriously pissed off the Mel, because he's like, dobby-dobby-da, and just clamps his teeth on her nose. All the person laughed. They all resembled cats that had been taught to stand on their hind legs. Wonder what the Marine says, Gore mused. It's gotta take a lot to make a Shield male, of all things, act like that. They're all a bunch of damn pussies. As the sole male of the team, and their sniper, Gore was valued and, above all else, respected by the other kitties. He had proved himself time and time again. They all joked he was the toughest because he had to deal with the rest of them. Eventually, Darach and Shaq wandered off to fiddle with the jukebox, leaving behind Sashan and Gore. The male ordered a drink. The octopus-like bartender immediately set to work, staring into the distance as his tentacles made the beverage, seemingly of their own accord. What in the light is that? Sashan wondered, as the bartender finished the drink, adding a final garnish, a dollop of cream. Trying something new. I believe it's called a Delusa Sunrise, Gore said, accepting the glass. The liquid inside was dark green, with brown wisps and a white blob on top. He took a sip. And his vial. All sugar. He immediately drained the glass. Anyway, there's something we gotta talk about. Yeah? As the leader of their little group, Shavan was the one they all went to with problems. It's not those consortium cliques again, is it? Want us to teach them a lesson? No. Though I appreciate that. It's about that thing we talked about. Oh yes, Sashan ordered another drink. That thing. Pesherin marriage customs were weird. Males joined various bands of warriors, hoping to find the meanest, toughest bitches they could. Once they proved themselves tough enough, the group they joined would become their wives. Good news? I think so, Gore said. I mean, we've been married in all but name for a while now, right? I mean, I already fathered those kittens with Shrek. I think it's just time to make this official. That's great, Sashan said with uncharacteristic excitement. I'll tell the girls. I'd rather be the one to do it, but thank you, Gore said. He turned and watched the other side of the bar with excitement. I think a fight's breaking out. Indeed, Darach and some alien of unknown origin were duking it out. Darach grabbed a ball from the slurp ball table and slammed it against the creature's noggin. Okay, sweetie, have fun. Sashan got up. I've got to go meet our contact. We're all happy to hear we made the cut. She walked to the back room, lighting one of her spikeweed rolls as she went. In the dark room sat a shark like a Dixie, smoking something that smelled like rotting meat from a water pipe. Shaktor Shan, welcome, she said, using the old Persian term for friendship. It meant something like, one I could trust with their claws at my throat. Nevertheless, there was little friendly about this meeting. Sashan cut straight to the chase. Got a job for me? A really interesting one. The Dixie took another hit from a hookah. I'm sure you've heard about the sex planet by now. I heard the rumour too. The planet that's half men, and the men like to bone. Classic Shilvanti rumours. Sashan sat down in a chair, rolling the spikeweed between her fingers. It's real. Sashan coughed on her spikeweed at the news. You're kidding, right? Not one bit. the Dixie said sadly. A whole world reduced to nothing but something to satisfy their new masters. Sashan's contact could get a bit sentimental. So what's the job? Sashan asked once she stopped choking. You're gonna love it. The Dixie took a drink of water. The details are on this drive at the table, but basically you get to go to the sex planet and beat up nobles. Sounds like fun. Sashan stood up again. I knew you'd love it. Oh, and congratulations on your marriage. How does she know about that? Ah well. Sashan figured an alliance spook wouldn't be a very good one if she didn't know about such things.